Lefty, why are you in my chair? You have 1, 2, 3 different places to sit. And you gotta get right on my chair. He's such a goof. Oh, but I love him. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't be the same without him. Hi everyone. We're out taking a little stroll. Let me give you a shot of, so there we are right there. And I love it here. This is such a nice area. I love all the woods and the trails. Like the greatest part of being here is Lefty just loves walking here. Holy cripes. Thank God they had their dog on a leash. That thing saw us and 100 miles an hour and then got snapped back on its leash. I mean, it was coming for us. And when I heard that, oh, my heart jumped. That was actually a Toyota truck. Sounded like it's got muffler issues with a trailer behind it. He barreled right through this puddle here, and man, that smells. You know what it smells like? It smells like somebody dumped their black tanks. That's what it smells like. Just like that. You know that smell when you're at a RV dump spot and somebody's dumping their tanks, or there doesn't even need to be somebody there dumping their tanks. That smell is usually pretty pervasive, and you smell it 24/7. Get away from there. Boy, that stinks. Whew. Get out of that mud, Left. What are you, a knucklehead? But a lot of people come up in areas in a vehicle that's maybe not suited exactly for where they're driving, and they have to use little shortcuts. Like yesterday, those cars that we saw out in the field the other day that I said it looked like a hospital parking lot. Now this is interesting. This looks like a parking lot at a hospital or something. Oops. There's just a whole slew of passenger cars out here pretty far up in the woods. It's so cool for them for getting out here, because it's not an easy ride out here. 2 of them drove out yesterday. We happened to be up in here walking, and it was like a Chevy Volt and, you know, like sedan street cars, not even all-wheel drive, and they were picking their way. It was not this road, but the one that's over on the other side of the area we're at, and they were making their way. They had to skip around a lot of the roots and stuff because they didn't have good ground clearance. But they got out, I guess, because I don't see them stuck on the trail anywhere. There's the snow. So the sides of the mountain peaks where the sun doesn't hit all day, there tends to be some remnants. That's pretty cool. Oh, there used to be a bridge here. Well, he doesn't need a bridge. Holy moly. Up. Easy, buddy. There you go. Good jump. Yeah, there used to be a walking bridge right here. I was just reading this sign. This was not here before. and people used to camp on the other side, tent camping. I remember walking through that area after people had left. Why couldn't you go over it, Left? And there was all kinds of waste they had left over there. And, you know, that said, this is an irrigation waterway. And look, there's no camping. So they don't want people camping alongside of that waterway right there. I guess I can understand why. Oh, we got dirt bikes. Very cool. That's an old Yamaha 2-stroke. All right, I don't know what this is. Bearing tree. Nothing is filled out. It looks like that's, yeah, it's got some numbers stamped into it. So who can tell me what this purpose is? Okay. Okay, come on. I'm sure they're tracking some kind of growth or disease. So we've walked inadvertently all the way down to this camp area, and this is where we've camped 2 or 3 times, and it's just beautiful here. You're right on the side of the creek, and we'll get over there and get a shot of it. But I don't know if Lefty can smell from 3 years ago when we were here last, but we were all over this place, camped and hiking all over. Boy, it's pretty sparse down here. But I'm really surprised that this is so empty down here, because this area we're looking at was always a gathering area. And a friend of mine, Mac, if you're watching this, how you doing, brother? He was in this area, from what he told me, with, you know, a group of people, and everybody was camped here, but it sure looks like everyone is gone, and there's no one here. This is really surprising, because this area, the creek is right over that hill right there. Come here, let's go look at the water. I can hear it. So this is a popular area because this big fire ring over here for gatherings, fully stocked with firewood, is a great place to hang out. Look, there's even some fire keeping tools there. Come here. He must remember this area. There it is. But someone has decided to leave their derelict refrigerator here. Not cool. They kind of tucked it up beside this tree stump to try and hide it, I guess. It's really a shame. All you got to do is go right into town, and there's dumpsters lined up, and you can put it right in the dumpster. Left. Come on back up here. Reverse. Okay, now this is strange. We're walking kind of up in the woods here. There is a dirt road. You can kind of see it right there. So we're not far off of the dirt trail, but we just came across this little odd area here. There's 1, 2, 3 of these little, they're like the kind of thing that you put around your tomato plants so that the bunnies don't eat them. And then there's 3 more right there. It's hard to see them on the screen, but so why have they enclosed these 6 areas with like little rock? They're like little rock piles. Oh, is there gold in that rock? Is that what this is? What? There's sparkly things in here. Whoa. Come on, focus. I'm seeing... Where'd it go? Oh, I wish I had a gold tester thing. This is odd though. I've never seen anything like this. These little... Yeah, there's definitely a lot of sparkles in these rocks. Oh, come on. Give me 5 minutes, dude. Jeez. You are so inconsiderate sometimes. I've got him on timeout, hooked to that tree. Hey, you sound like you're being murdered, for Christ's sake. Come on. Hey. Hey. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, I guess we're moving on. Okay, we're going to do a trailside fleet finds here. I just found a pair of sunglasses. Now these are Wayfarer style glasses. There's the brand. Gooder. Come on, stay focused. Gooder. Look those up and let's learn about them. They're not very gooder right now. It says it on both sides. They got a little debris stuck on them there. So, not great. I'm going to leave these on the trail side right here because my pockets are full and I'm not wearing my cargo pants, so I don't have extra pockets today. But these reminded me. Let me tell you a story about Wayfarer glasses. Back when I was in college, so this was like 1988, probably 1988 or 89, but probably 88. I started dating this girl that I met in college. Her name was Michelle, and Michelle. Oh, I don't want to say her last name in case she still has it. But I met her in, I think it was a writing class that I was taking. And we dated for 6 or 8 months, something like that. We dated on through the summer and then into the fall, and then we split up. Well, that's Fleet Find Freddy right there with his style in Wayfarers. But like I said, we dated through the summer, and during the summer I worked a job. A friend of mine was like in landscaping, and he had a friend who started a construction business, and he got a contract through connections. And we were building an indoor miniature golf course at the Walden Galleria, which I don't know if it's still there. It was in Buffalo. It was a big, huge mall. And he got the contract to build this indoor miniature golf that also had ponds with remote control boats. It was massive. And our job was to bring in all of the crushed stone and do all the shaping of all the hills and berms and everything for all of the miniature golf holes. And then we sprayed it with, I don't know, what comes to mind is gunite, but I don't know if that's the right stuff. It all got coated with this spray-on concrete kind of stuff. So that was an awesome summer job. So all of us would carpool to Buffalo every morning. So we'd get picked up and we'd hit the thruway, and we always stopped at the one rest stop and got like Burger King for breakfast. I remember getting French toast sticks for breakfast, and then we'd go on to Buffalo and work all day. Driving the Bobcats, we had to Bobcat all of the gravel in from outside through this doorway that was like an inch wider than the Bobcats. He keeps dragging me over to this water here, and because there's grass growing along the edge of it, and he keeps eating it. Oh, that's deep here. Whoa! No! Oh my gosh. You got everything in that water this time, huh? Come on. Whoa! Holy smokes. He just tried to jump that and kind of did a chest header right there. Okay, hold on. You okay? Holy smokes, what are you doing trying to jump that whole creek, you knucklehead? He almost made it. All right, let me get back to the story about the Wayfarers. So this girl, Michelle, during the summer, I was working that job, and I went into the mall, because back then, it was when I had my first pair of Ray-Bans. And I loved them. I don't know that Ray-Bans are still the same quality that they used to be, but I had these really stylish Ray-Bans I wore back then. So I went into the sunglass store in the mall there in Buffalo, and I got this girl, Michelle, a cool pair of Wayfarers. That was when the Wayfarers were coming back into style, and they had all these colors. And the ones I got for her, they were black front frame, and then the earpieces were a red pattern kind of color. I thought they were really cool. I brought those back home, and the next time I saw her, I gave them to her, and she was, so excited. They were not cheap. Ray-Ban Wayfarers, they cost some money. I don't remember how much, but I gave them to her. And she put them on, and immediately they were not good for her face shape. Oh, he wants it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, there's chipmunks all over this place. What? As she put those glasses on, she was, if I remember right, part Greek, and she didn't have a big nose, but she had a prominent nose, I'm going to call it. And when she put those glasses on, it was like putting a magnifying glass over her nose. You got the glasses, and then it just made her nose just huge. And I'm like, and she, of course, she wore them every day. She was always wearing them, because I gave them to her, and every time I would see her in them, I was like, hi, I should have said something in hindsight. I was still a young guy, still working on my mojo. I don't know. So that's my Wayfarer sunglasses story. All right. Welcome to another episode of the world famous Fleet Finds. If you're new to the channel and this is your first episode of Fleet Finds, what this is, I show you all the things that we find when we're out walking around. We have found some very useful items over the years. Some of the things that I still have. The mat that Lefty is laying on right now was a Fleet find. It was like brand new. It was all folded up. Somebody broke camp and obviously left it behind. The other thing that comes to mind is the little mini shovel. I think it's like a True Value little mini shovel. We found that along with a wheel chock, like a Harbor Freight rubber wheel chock. We found them in Williams, right next to what obviously was a mud spot that someone had gotten stuck in, and they were trying a wheel chock. They tried all kinds of stuff to get out, and their shovel was left leaning against the tree, and it was like brand new. So that is still with us, and the wheel chock, both of those items are still with us right in that cabinet there. So some of the stuff is very usable. Some of the things I've given away, a lot of the things I've given away. And then some of it has just gone to recycling or in the garbage, depending on what it was. In this area here that we found just a few items, but I like them, so I want to show them to all of you. So the first thing we have here is a pair of cooking tongs. Now these are the type, Mom has these, this same style. It has this pull out, or I'm sorry, you push it in, which releases the opening, and then when you close it and push the ring back in and pull the ring out, okay, let me try that again. When this ring is pulled out, they stay closed for like keep them in the drawer. And then when you push that in, it allows them to spring open. So way better than the kind that have the little metal sleeve that slides up, because as we all know, they slide down and the tongs spring open, or the little sleeve breaks and comes off, which is what happened to a pair that I have. The only problem with these, you can see they have a rubber like hand grip. It's missing on this side. We found these in a fire ring. And obviously they need a good boiling, but I'm going to keep them because I like it that they're small. You know, I have a pair that are like this long with the slide collar, and they're very unruly. So I like these, and I'm going to keep them, but I'm going to boil them first in some water, obviously, to get them cleaned up. Those are keepers. Now here's an old favorite. This is a classic. We have probably found 100 tent stakes over the years. And I have given away so many of these to people. A lot of tent type gear, shower tents, sleeping tents. They come with some form of basic tent stakes, and they're pretty crappy, to be honest with you. We find these many times in a group, like someone has pulled them out of their tent as they're breaking camp. They lay them down, and then they pack everything up and they forget them. So we found, 4, we found 10 at one campsite, 10 of them. The interesting thing about this find is I found 4 of them, and all 4 are different. So we have what I would call 4 kind of base level tent stakes. Again, kind of crappy. Now this one here, this is pretty decent. You can see how much fatter it is. These are the kind that typically come with an inexpensive tent or some kind of camping gear. These type here, and you can see it's bent because they bend the first time you hammer them into the ground. And this one is all bent. This one's a little bit thicker than that one, but it's also very bent. And then this one is even thicker, and it is not bent. So that maybe should tell us something about the quality of this one. It's got a nice point on it. These are blunt-ended with no point. And then this one here, I had not seen these before. This is aluminum, I believe. It does have a hole for a cord, and it has a little logo on it that says DAC. So if you've heard of this brand, let me know. This one is new to me. It looks a little sturdier because it's, it's triangulated basically, so that it's stronger when you hammer on it. But I thought it was pretty interesting that we found 4, and all 4 are different. So this person has a lot of different kinds of gear, and they collected up these 4 out of all that gear, and they probably weren't too disappointed that they forgot these and left them behind. So these will go. I have a bag of these kind of basic stakes that I keep, and I've given away so many of them, so I'll throw these in that bag. And if people are in need or they lose theirs and they need some, I've got them covered. Now the next item we have, very, very useful. If you can't tell what that is, this is a bottle opener. It has a rubber coating on here, and then you can see it's got a loop, so you could attach this to all different kinds of items. A key ring, some kind of a gear set, carabiner, but a nice beer bottle opener. But, you know, let's not limit it to that. You could have a bottle of root beer or any kind of socially acceptable beverage, and you've got a nice opener. I'm going to hold on to this because you can never have enough bottle openers. And I like the design. I think it's kind of neat, and it's comfortable. So I think this is a good one for a keeper. Now this one is one of the more interesting things we found. We have found, at one camp, we found a whole, like 20 different colored pencils. And they were all like full length. And I remember there was a young lady with her daughter, young daughter, like maybe 3 or 4 years old, that was camped 100 feet from us. And I went over and gave those to her, the colored pencils, because I didn't have any use for them. And I'm sure that they had all kinds of fun with the colored pencils. I remember when my daughter was little, the colored pencils and colored markers. I used to get her these marker sets when she was little. But what we have here is your standard pencil. And what this reminds me of is the kind that you get when you go golfing, like miniature golf, or you go golfing. You get these little pencils to keep track of your score. And interestingly enough, printed on here is Mount Massive Golf Course, America's highest, from Leadville, Colorado. So there is a golf course that kind of neighbors this camping area that we're in. And so somehow this made its way off of the golf course. And what's cool is it's a red pencil, but one side of it is all sun faded. So it was obviously laying like this, and this side was facing the sun, and it got all faded. It still has all the lead in it, or graphite, whatever's in pencils. Everything's still there, fully functional. I don't know if I have a use for it. I'm a pen user. G2 rollerball pens, those are my preferred pens. I'll hold on to it. Doesn't take up much space. Now here's one, another thing I don't like finding. It's a dog bowl. Obviously, probably some dog's water bowl, and it got left behind. Where I found this hiking, there was nobody camped anywhere near, and it was at a campsite. So obviously somebody had been at that campsite, but they were gone. I can just imagine the next time they stopped and they went to get water for their dog, they went, shit, you know, and they left the bowl behind, they realized. So a little frustrating. I'm going to hold on to it. It's a little small for Lefty. That's like one drink session. You've all heard him. He takes water down. Like, I can watch the water level drop as he's slurping away in his bowl. His bowl is like a half a gallon. So I'm going to hold on to this, though, because this would be nice to hand to someone that has a dog that could use a new bowl. It's in good shape. It hasn't been run over like one of Lefty's has. But I was able to straighten it all back out. So, but this one is in good shape. So we'll hold on to it and see if we can donate it to somebody. Thanks for being here watching this episode of Fleet Finds. Let's get back to the live action. I have to do an addendum to our Fleet Finds episode because we just found something. I found a big dog. Just kidding. I think all of you know what these are. We have 6 leveling blocks. I feel really bad that somebody left these behind. I can easily see how that would happen. They were in position in a camp. They were there for 2 days. So I finally stopped and picked them up. And although it's terrible someone left them behind, I'm more than happy to keep them in use. You know, we've made it 5 years without carrying any kind of leveling blocks like this. Left. I'm trying to shoot a little video. What? Oh, you don't care? Huh? You don't care that I'm shooting video? What the heck are you doing? Ah! Sorry about that. A little distraction. Drunkard? What are you doing, drunkard? You haven't been nipping in the hippie juice, have you? Ah! Ah! Blah! Bless you. Holy smokes. Yeah, we've made it 5 years without any kind of leveling blocks. We've used wood, we've used rocks, we've spent nights a little bit on a slant. So this is a new thing for us having these. And will we use them a ton? Probably not, but I think they might come in handy in those cases where we were kind of scrounging to find something to stick under a corner of the rig. So leveling blocks are on board. What a great find. Well, thanks for coming along on the walk with us this morning. That was 2.5 hours of hiking. So this guy just had his breakfast and he's ready for his nap time. So we're gonna calm down. That was a good hike. We had a lot of fun. Everyone take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. Look at the dirty muzzle. He was just rooting around the fire ring, unstacking all the rocks, looking for chipmunks.